Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupa Anuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinama Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Let me see. Sudevi said, Jai, Dandavat Pranam. And by the inspiration of Sudevi, I have actually started at 4:30 instead of 4:37. So hopefully I can also end within the proper time so I don't disrupt the arati. Excuse me. So we will begin with Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan is the auspicious invocation calling for the grace, the blessings, the mercy, the sidelong glances of our beloved Srila Gurudev, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaura Hari, going all the way back to the original Guru who is Krishna himself and his Guru of Prem, Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimati Radha Thakurani. As Krishna states, and you can find it in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radhikar Prema Guru Ami Shishya Nata Sada Amanana Nritye Nachaya Udbhata. Radhika is my Guru of Prem and I am simply her dancing pupil. She makes me dance various novel dances according to her tune. So you can find Mangalacharan in this beautiful bhajan treasure trove, Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha, starting on page 1 with Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. I didn't see my those throat drops. Found them. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tang Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagano Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanati Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Modarya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvang Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabjudataika Hriddi Chaitanya Leelamrita Sarasaram Narayanam Tvang Satatam Prapadye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Gaura Presthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Ittinamine Atimartya Charitraya Swashritanancha Paline Jiva Dukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Itti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dhvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padambu Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavvarayate Gauravirbhava Bhumestvang Nirdeshta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatang Surato Pangor Mama Mandam Matergati Matsarvasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Sinhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Shri Lagovinda Devo Preshtali Sevyamano Smarami Shrimandra Sarasarambhi Vangshiva Tattatastitaha Karshan Venusvanair Gopir Gopinata Shri Estunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyaye Keshavasya cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Radhe Radhe Hare Krishna. Let's see who's there. Sudevi Devi Dasi, Ananda Raghubir, that's Atul Krishna Prabhu, Radhe Radhe. And I noticed that Rukmini Raghubir's name is not there because she's physically here now. And Jiva Pavana Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Eli Fletcher, Geeta Dasi, Kamalavati, and Ambika, and Oksana Gorangi Priya. Radhe 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 Shyam. That picture that you posted, I saw it the other day and I showed it to Sudevi. I thought, wow, it's so beautiful. And she really liked it. And then we were looking at it. Is that real or is it? And then we realized something, and I made comparisons and I was like, oh, they've taken Radharaman and one hand is too far down. He's bent differently.
I like his outfit.
Yeah, and his clothes are different than usual. And they were like, something isn't right here. And then we realized somebody has done some AI on Radharaman. So, yeah, she said, beware of the fakes. You know, there's a chapter in Krishna book. What is it? Krishna and the false Vasudev. Anyway, it was really sweet. And Bruce Izzy. Radhe Radhe. Okay, so now we will call for the mercy of Sri Gurudev. Also, I just want to remind the devotees, if you don't have a devotee name as your Facebook name, and you would like your name to be called in Vrindavan Dham, I know how I like my name to be called at Govardhan, so that Govardhan can somehow just place me in the register for being able to receive the mercy of the dust there. Just place your devotee name when you say Radhe Radhe or when you make any comment, and then I'll call your devotee name. So, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadma by Shri Narottam Das Thakur. Page 28 in our Shri Gaudiya Giti Gucha. (28) Shri Guru Charana Padma. Right. Bhakti Swarup Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadama Andumui Savadhano Mate Jahar Prasade Bhai E Bhavatoriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakyo Chite Te Koriya Aikyo Arna Kori Ho Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Chakudan dilo je Janme janme Prabhu se Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate Vede Gaya Jaharo Charito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Lokanatha Lokera Jivana Aha Prabhu Koro Doya Deho More Pado Chaya Tua Pade Loinu Sharana Ebe Jasha Gushu Tribhuvana Gurudeva Patita Pavana Prabhupada Patita Pavana Ha ha Prabhu Karo Doya Deho More Pado Chaya Ha ha Prabhu Koro Doya Deho More Pado Chaya Guru Deva Jai Guru Deva Guru Deva Jai Gurudeva, Jai Gurudeva, Jai Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jai Gurudeva. Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. Before I continue, some of you are new to this, so I want to share it. In the Mangalacharan, I chant for our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Nama Om Vishnupadaya Gaura Preshtaya Bhutale. In the Sri Gauriya Gita Gucha, it says Acharya Singharupine. That was written by Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, the godbrother of our Srila Gurudev. And our Gurudev said, it is true that Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj was powerful like a lion. Acharya Singharupine. He said, but much more than that. What's much more important than being powerful like a lion? He said, Gora Preshtaya Bhutale. He is near and dear to Gauranga. He said, so I like Gora Preshtaya Bhutale. So since that time, we've been chanting Gora Preshtaya Bhutale. It doesn't mean that Acharya Singharupine is wrong. It is right. He is certainly like a lion, but more important than that is Gora Preshtaya Bhutale. Also, we just sang this bhajan Shri Guru Charana Padma. Most of us are familiar with it. It's the bhajan that we sang for Guru Puja every single day growing up within the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And many people reserved it exclusively for Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Although it was not written exclusively for him, it was written by Srila Narottam Das Thakur for his Gurudev, and really for all transcendental Gurudevs for all time, because it is Guru Tattva. So this bhajan is not only for singing at the time of Guru Puja, nor to only one particular spiritual master. But this bhajan really represents the mood of the ideal disciple praying to the ideal manifestation of Krishna's mercy in the form of Sri Gurudev for the purpose of attaining their mercy. And Sri Narottam Das Thakur is showing what kind of mood the disciple should have, how he is seeking the shelter of Gurudev, how he is begging for his mercy. And he's saying, Janme, Janme Prabhu se, that he is my Lord birth after birth. It may be that the same form of Guru doesn't come every single time, and yet the same principle of Guru will manifest again and again. Because really, who is Guru? What is Guru? Guru is the manifestation of the mercy and compassion of Krishna in our lives. And so, when and how we require to meet with Guru, Krishna will arrange that meeting. Our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj has explained, and someone mentioned it yesterday, perhaps at the Radhakund program, that as we are progressing in our path of bhakti, Srila Gurudev told this many times, it may be that you take birth at the time of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and receive the opportunity to associate with him. And then again you will take birth at the time of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and receive the opportunity to associate with him. And then at the time of Narottam Das Thakur, and then into Gaur Lila, and then of course into Radha Krishna Lila. So it might not be the same form that we are familiar with. But if Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada were to manifest directly in front of you right now, would you have any hesitation to accept him as your Shiksha Guru? If Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada were to manifest in front of you right now and give you, you'd fall at his feet and you wouldn't think, oh, I have received something less or something that is not sufficient for me. If Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur were to manifest in front of us right now, naturally, we would accept him as our life and soul. So would our Gurudev, and so would all of our Guru Varga, at least those who are in his line. If Srila Rupa Goswami were to appear in front of anyone at this moment who is in the line of Rupa Goswami, would they not all fall at his feet? So this is Guru Tattva. That same manifestation of Krishna's mercy potency coming into our lives according to our necessity, either in the form of Diksha or Shiksha Gurus. It is that same essence, Chaitya Guru, manifesting in these forms. And it might be that we have not progressed sufficiently under the guidance of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, so we might receive the opportunity to take birth into his pastimes wherever he is continuing to give his association. It may be. Why not? And where were we in 1,000 lifetimes the other way? We have somehow come up to that kind of association. From who knows what association? How many times has Krishna sent his mercy to us? And maybe we caught a little bit of it, and the rest of it, maybe we didn't catch so much. Yesterday I was discussing that I'm like a fish. You know, Guru tries to catch you and you squish out. You're slippery. How many times has Krishna manifested in the form of Guru to help us? So this bhajan here, Srila Narottam Das Thakur is telling us that the only way to attain pure bhakti, Keval bhakti, Keval means only and, one-pointed. The only way is by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Guru. In Sri Guru Vandana, it's a beautiful red book by Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj based on his lectures about this particular bhajan, with large writing which is easy to read and quick reading. He explains the meaning of Shri. He said Shri, Guru, means one who is endowed with Shri. Who is Shri? Srimati Radhika. There is Shriji Mandir in Barshana. She is Shri. She is Sarva Lakshmi Mai. She is the source of all Lakshmis, or the original Shri. So who is endowed with her potency and her mercy? Who is bringing that in this world? That is Shri Guru. And at this moment I'm remembering Srila Gurudev. There's a video of him in 26 2nd Avenue in New York, the first, storefront shop that Srila Prabhupada acquired for his preaching, Matchless Gifts, 26 2nd Avenue. So in 1996, Srila Gurudev went there. And just seeing the effect of our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's mercy and preaching in the world, he was weeping, Gurudev was weeping and weeping inconsolably for quite a long time. He couldn't speak anymore, and he was just wiping his tears again and again. And then when he was able to compose himself, he said, so I think that Srimati Radhika has called her maidservant, Nayana Mani Manjari. This is the Manjari name of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. That I have collected so many jewels. You should give these jewels to your maidservant to distribute everywhere throughout the world. So Srila Gurudev was telling this, that Srimati Radhika is telling her maidservant to tell her maidservant to distribute these jewels throughout the world. So this is really who is endowed with Shri, means who is carrying the mercy of Shri, Srimati Radhika, especially in this line of Sri Rupa Goswami. Another thing, speciality, and this is something very specific to Srila Gurudev. For all of our Guru Varga, especially during Jai Dwani, we hear Om Vishnupad Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad, or Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad. We have heard that this means that Vishnupad, who is carrying Vishnu or Krishna. But Srila Gurudev said, what is the meaning of Vishnu? Now this is a speciality of Srila Gurudev, always bringing everything to its highest Rasik perspective. What is the meaning of Vishnu? He, or that person who is all-pervading, So we know that Krishna is all-pervading. He's everywhere, he's in everything. There's nowhere where Krishna is not. But then Gurudev said, but who is pervading the heart of Krishna? Srimati Radhika. So he said also that is a name for her. So we're saying Om Vishnupad. Really, it means who is carrying Srimati Radhika and her moods of loving service to Krishna. And that is what all of our Guru Varga have come to give, especially in the line of Rupa Goswami. Srila Gurudev said, those who are Rupanuga, they're carrying this specific mood. Not exactly what Srimati Radhika has. Her love for Krishna is Unata Ujvala Rasa, the topmost rasa. No jiva is capable of experiencing that because that is her property. What would make her special if we all have exactly what she has? Right? The speciality is that she has more than anyone, unlimitedly. But Unata Ujvala Rasang Sva Bhakti Shriyam, Srila Gurudev explained that the beauty or the nectar sprinkles, the semblance of her moods of love and affection. This is the mood of the Rupanuga Vaishnavas. This is possible for the jivas to awaken within their hearts. And that, Radhe Radhe, that, Hare Krishna, that particular mood is the mood of all true Rupanuga Vaishnavas. Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi. Those who are following the sadhana that Sri Rupa Goswami is undertaking, as he is doing his sadhana as Rupa Goswami, and also as he is serving Radha and Krishna within Nitya Lila in the form of Sri Rupa Manjari, serving like she is serving Radha and Krishna. This is the meaning of Siddha Rupena. Seva Sadhaka Rupena, right, in the Sadak Rup, as Rupa Goswami, and Siddha Rupena, as Sri Rupa Manjari, who is serving in both ways and who is following in that line. They are known as Rupanuga Vaishnavas. So Srila Gurudev explained again and again and again and again, 1,000 times, that all of those who are Rupanuga, who are in the line of Rupa Goswami, and who are preaching the message of Sri Rupa Goswami, have this same mood that Sri Rupa Goswami has. Then they can be called Rupanuga. So they have come to give what Rupa Goswami has come to give. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give it, but he was absorbed in tasting Radha's bhavs. He's Krishna himself, tasting the bhavs of Srimati Radhika. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shaktir Asmad Ekatmanavapi Bhuvipura Deha Vedam Gatoto Chaitanyakyam Prakatamadhuna Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhava Duti Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. He's Krishna himself, but imbued with the bhav of Srimati Radhika's love and affection for Krishna. Hence, her complexion is manifesting. Because he is experiencing her bhav, then her complexion, Gaurangi, is manifesting. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj explains this especially. Because of experiencing this mood, then this complexion is manifesting. That is why Gauranga, although he is Krishna himself, has this complexion of Gauranga. Otherwise he would be Shyam Anga, right? Dark, like a monsoon rain cloud, but tasting the bhavs of Srimati Radhika, he's manifesting as Gauranga. So Srila Gurudev was giving all of this. Now he said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is tasting as much as he can of Radha's bhav. Maybe something is not fully being tasted because she's protecting him from the outside. Krishna wants to enjoy what it is like to love Krishna from the perspective of Srimati Radhika. Is Srimati Radhika trying to enjoy what it is like to love Krishna from her own perspective? You understand the difference. There's a slight difference. One is Vishai Bhagavan. He's the enjoyer of everything. And he sees that she's experiencing millions of times more pleasure and happiness by serving me and loving me than I'm experiencing. I want that. Understand? He's like this. This is his nature. Vishai. But Srimati Radhika doesn't want to be the enjoyer. She only wants to always increase Krishna's transcendental happiness and pleasure. So as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is endeavoring to taste these bhavs, being coached by Srimati Radhika's own Sakhis in the form of Ramananda Rai, in the form of Swarup Damodar Goswami, in the form of Srimati Radhika herself as Gadadhar Pandit, they're all coaching Krishna how to experience the bhavs of Srimati Radhika properly. This is kind of like Rupanuga Tattva, Rupa Goswami Tattva, Mahaprabhu Tattva, and Gadadhar Pandit Tattva all pushed into one, but this is Gurudev's teaching. He's endeavoring to taste this, but what he wanted to give to this world, Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Korite Pracharan. Today we went, I don't want to use the word shopping, searching for a Mahaprabhu to go with Radha and Krishna, with some devotees. And originally they were looking for Sonar Gauranga, like this. But then we saw one like this. So beautiful, long arms. Ajanulambita bujo kanakavatato. You know, if he put his arms down, they would be past his knees, just like. And he had long legs too. He was like, how is that? So beautiful, so fine, so charming. And immediately Manvati, she was like, oh, I'm so happy you got that one. Because with one arm up, he's tasting that prem ras. And the other one, he's giving that rag marga bhakti to this world. Rag marga bhakti loke korite pracharan. He's preaching this rag marga bhakti to this world. He didn't come to this world to give Vaidhi marg. Already, for thousands and millions of years, everyone was practicing Vaidhi marg. Means rules and regulations based on because you have to, because you're supposed to, or because if you don't do it, then you're going to go to hell or suffer some negative consequence. But Rag Marga Bhakti isn't based on that. Raga Marga Bhakti is based on the awakening of a strong, insatiable desire to serve that is impelling and pulling one forward without concern for all of these other things. No, if someone is crazy, madly in love, they forget everything else. We just passed Kali Ahrad as we were coming by, and as a matter of daily sadhana, whenever we drive past any holy place, so that we don't become complacent, we always call out the names of the important personalities in that place and say Ki Jai. So we drove past Kali Ahrad. Krishna Kaliya Ki Jai, Nagapatnis Ki Jai, Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad Ki Jai, Bilva Mangal Thakur Ki Jai. And then we came to Madan Mohan Sanatan Goswami. Bilva Mangal Thakur was completely obsessed with a prostitute. What was her name? Chintamani. So obsessed that he was one-pointed. I have to attain her, no matter what. It was storming, the weather was horrible, the Ganga was flooded. I mean, it's frightening just trying to swim across the Ganga on a good day. But when Ganga is like this and there's storms, we also had to cross Ganga like that one night. It was quite frightening. So it was thunder and lightning and heavy wind and storm, and he was swimming across Ganga to go to her. He forgot about himself, his own safety, his own security, and he grabbed onto something he thought was a log to help him to float across. He didn't even know it was a dead body. He didn't even know. And then when he got to the other side, everything was locked, but he needed to see her. He was so desperate to scale those walls, he thought he was climbing up a vine, but he was using a snake. And finally he gets to her balcony and he's like, let me in. What kind of madness was this for a material thing? When that kind of madness is awakened within us for Krishna, all of these things which should be obstacles or frightening will be completely unimportant. We won't think about them. And this is what Srila Gurudev came to inspire within us. some kind of insatiable greed to serve Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. What is moving in his heart? Remind me of the point I was going to make before, which I don't remember yet, because I'm remembering Gurudev. I remember him telling, when he was Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ju Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Look, they match the decorations. I remember him telling, this was after Sri Narottamananda Brahmachari and Trivikram Maharaj, that time Radhana Brahmachari, came to his town in Tiwaripur, and they were preaching the message of Rupa Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He became very inspired by hearing from them. And he said at that time he began chanting Harinam, minimum of 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs a day. Now 1 lakh is 64 rounds. But not like we chant a lakh. Or spacing out, oh yeah, what do I need to purchase on Amazon? Oh, I ran out of this, I need to do that. Oh, wait, let me take my shopping notes. Ram Ram Hare Hare. And I tried it once at 11 o'clock at night trying to finish, and I'm like walking back and forth. It's not like this. Srila Gurudev said that he forgot about his work. Understand, he was a police lieutenant. He was chanting. And he was chanting at work also. And he said he looked down and all of his paperwork was wet. Now, back in those days, they didn't have a ballpoint pen. You know, it was, you dipped your pen in ink. And if you get it wet, it just spreads. And you lose all of your work. So the big in charges told him, you can take some time for yourself, go home and come back in a couple of days. He was weeping so much while calling the names of Krishna. This is Harinam Seva. He was serving Sri Harinam Prabhu. And he said, so they sent him home. Come back in a couple of days after you get over your enthusiasm and you can resume work then. So then he went home and he continued weeping and chanting. Mind you, he had a family at home. There was a wife, young children, his parents, his brothers and sisters, and he was the main breadwinner for all of them. Now, he was the police lieutenant. They all kind of depended on him. So he was there chanting. And then after a couple days, he came out of this deep state of absorption and became aware, oh, I have to go back to work. When he went back to work, he was apologizing. I remember him telling this. He was apologizing. I'm so sorry, I missed work for so long. I didn't come for a couple of days. They said, what are you talking about? Just yesterday you did this, the day before you got this Medal of Honor, the day before. And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, you did everything. And he first was confused, he said, and then he realized, Krishna says, for one who is one-pointed to me, ananyas chintayanto mam, ye jana paryupasate, tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam mahamyam. I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So Krishna proved it to him. He took care of everything. And our Gurudev was only simply taking shelter of Krishna in the form of his holy names. And all of the work was done. And he said, not just done, better. Done better. And Gurudev said that was the moment he knew, I don't have to worry for anything of this material world ever again. Now this is technically the definition of Shraddha. Shraddha shabde vishwas kohe sudrida nishchoy Krishna bhakti koile sarva karma krita hoy. The word Shraddha, according to those who know the definition of this word, vishwas kohe, they tell that it is the firm conviction, sudridha nishchoy, that simply by engaging in devotion to Krishna, all other obligations and subsidiary activities are automatically taken care of. As Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say, there is nothing to do, Baba, nothing to do. He realized it at that moment. Krishna himself is taking care of everything. Then he realized, I don't need to worry about anything here. And that's when he decided, I will leave everything and go to the lotus feet of my Gurudev. In the middle of the night, he got up, went to the train, didn't tell a soul, got on the train from Tiwaripur, went all the way to Navadvip, and when he arrived at 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. He didn't tell anybody that he was going. Sajan Sevak Brahmachari, who later became known as Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj, was standing at the train station with a lantern calling, Tiwariji, Tiwariji. And he's like, yeah, that's me, but how did you know I was coming? I didn't tell anyone. He said, Guru Maharaj told me to come and get you. And then Gurudev knew, that's it. He was sold and sold and sold, already to Krishna and to Param Gurudev completely. He gave his everything at the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Amazing. So, where was I before? I was talking about Rupa Anuga. Both of them are Rupa Anuga. But what I was speaking about before, this greed. So Gurudev developed this greed, this understanding and this greed. He saw the words of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra actively enacted within his life, which removes any bit of doubt. Not that he had any doubt, but showing as a householder with a family and a job. But yet he witnessed it and experienced it personally. He was able to give up everything and surrender 100% to Krishna. So I was speaking before about greed. That greed is what Gurudev came to awaken within us. But greed for what? What our Rupanuga Acharyas have come to give. Srila Gurudev said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave what he wanted to give via the medium of Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. This is what he wanted to give. And what did Rupa Goswami give? He satisfied or fulfilled the inner heart's desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu cannot or would not give Unata Ujvala Rasa. This is the property of Srimati Radhika, but Svabhakti Shriyam, yes. Srila Gurudev has explained it in many ways. Nectar sprinkles. Sometimes the mist or the vapor which comes when the waves are crashing on the shore of the ocean. You feel that coolness and that vapor come, the wind and the breeze and the vapor which comes from the crashing of those waves. What's happening in the heart of Mahaprabhu? That's the crashing of those waves. And those who have come close to him, especially in the line of Rupa Goswami, they are feeling the semblance of that. This is called the Shriyam, the beauty, or the semblance of that Unata Ujvala Ras. So this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give. How many times did Gurudev tell that shlok? Anarpita charing chirat korunayavatirnakkalo samarpayitum unatojvala rasang svabhakti shriyam harihi purata sundara dyuti kadamba sandipita sada hridaya kandare spuratu vashachi nandana. Srila Rupa Goswami has written this verse. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard it, he thought it was such a wonderful verse, except for the last part, vashachi nandana. Confirmed. Kandva Ujjai Shware. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Nice. This verse by Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu wanted to know what he has written. And it was drying on the thatched grass roof. And when they pulled it down, he was reading it and he saw this Spuratu Kandare Vashachinandana. May Shachinandan Gaura Hari reside within the deepest inner core of your heart, which is like a cave, and roar very loudly like a lion, casting away all kinds of inauspiciousness. but may he always reside within the inner chambers of your heart. He has come to give what no other avatar has come to give in an extreme long time. That means he himself actually. How often does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifest? Does anyone know? Once in a day of Brahma. After the time of Krishna, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifests. Once in a day of Brahma. Does anyone know how long that is? 8,640,000,000 years. It's quite rare. You cannot count to that in a lifetime. If you try, you can't. Something like 30,000 years or something it will take you to count it. It takes a long time. So he's very rare. But yet he's so merciful. So he says he's come to give what no other avatar or manifestation of the Lord has come to give in an extremely long time. That rare thing, Unnata Ujvala Rasang Sva Bhakti Shriyam. If we have an understanding or even an inkling of an understanding of what he came to give and how he gave it and who he gave it through, everything else falls into place. You know, when the puzzle just fits, Srila Gurudev took all the pieces of the puzzle and stuck them together and said, look, this is the picture. And it's not that other acharyas didn't give it. They did. But I read today one quote from Gurudev. He said, all of your study on your own, even if you think that by reading books you can attain perfection, he said it's not possible. Only by the mercy of Vaishnavas through serving them. Can you understand? Everything is under lock and key. And we've seen that plainly, really. So many have associated with so many pure Vaishnavas for so long. And then, very easily, the mind switches, one loses one's connection to the pure conceptions of Guru, and then everything just kind of starts derailing. We've seen it even among some of the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Certainly among some of the disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and certainly among some of the disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and so many other transcendental Gurudevs. Let me just tell what our Param Gurudev said why this happens. He said that those persons become weak and might even give up the path if they don't consider whether their service is pleasing to their Gurudev and whether serving their Gurudev gives them life. These two considerations, he said. They've become weak and derailed because they have failed to consider these two things. So often we do service because we like it, but what about what my Gurudev likes? So I've seen so many people come to Gurudev, Gurudev, I want to do this job. Gurudev said, okay, but also I was considering doing this job. Okay, which one should I do? He said, whatever one you like. But this one's better for me. Okay, do that one. But I was thinking maybe this one will allow me to see you more often, so he said, okay, then do that one. What do they want? But it is so rare that someone comes to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and says, what do you want me to do? I am willing to do whatever you want me to do. This is rare. Not willing, I will. Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj says, when Guru says jump, you jump. But who will do this really? How rare is it? But our Gurudev did this for his Gurudev, and his Gurudev did that for his Gurudev, and his Gurudev did that for his Gurudev. Our Srila Prabhupada did that for his Gurudev. He jumped over the ocean, many oceans, for the service of his Gurudev. And he lit the world on fire like Hanuman lit Lanka on fire. But with the fire of Harinam, didn't he? The whole world, jumping over oceans. I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but in their elderly age. Now after 70, 75 years old, these personalities who most people at that age are like can barely walk, and we end up just, I just want to lay down and sleep. And they're just like flying around the world, just doing more and more and more. What kind of seva bhav is this? Because they have life, and they're always absorbed in serving their holy masters. So that specific thing, Srila Gurudev wanted also to awaken within us, as every Rupanuga Acharya has desired to do, to awaken within those who have the capacity and the willingness to receive it, greed for attaining service to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, with a very specific and strong leaning toward Srimati Radhika. Radha Pakshachari Jai Jana Sejan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is speaking about the mood of Rupanuga Vaishnavas, always having this mood that I am Radha Paksha. In the Paksha, or the group, the team member of Srimati Radhika. This is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically came to give. Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Korite Pracharam. This mood of spontaneous loving devotion to Radha and Krishna for the benefit of the whole world. Raga Marga Bhakti Loke means for this world. Korite Pracharam. He was preaching to this world, this path of Raga Marga Bhakti. Raga Marga Bhakti doesn't mean as you like, as you wish. It means Ragatmika Anugatya, to be under the guidance of the Ragatmika Jan. Which kind? There's so many eternal associates of Krishna. But specifically at this time, as we've already discussed previously, the world is flooded with those who have the capacity within their Atma to awaken their own intrinsic nature of loving service to Radha and Krishna as a maidservant of Srimati Radhika in Vrindavan. So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give through the medium of Rupa Goswami and all of those acharyas who are true Rupanuga Vaishnavas. Now I'm just going to acknowledge some of the devotees who have come. Fuleshwari Devidasi ki jai, Sujan Prabhu ki jai, Arjun Krishna Prabhu ki jai, Rupadas, Shashikala Devidasi, Lalita Saki, dear Lalit Prabhu, and Jayadev Goswami Das, Lakshmi Dasi, Bhargavi Eluru, and Jagat Mohini, and Shyam Prabhu, and Om Joshi, and all the rest of you. Dandavad Pranam. Hare Krishna. I was speaking about Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Srila Gurudev established this point very clearly. He told what our Srila Prabhupada came to give. The same thing that Rupa Goswami came to give, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. Not only cutting jungles, not only cutting Nirvishesh and Shunyavad. I remember, when we're little, or when you're new, you're like, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschacha Deshata. Does anyone think about what they're singing? Or when we're like, yeah, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. What is that? It's not something we want. Nirvishesh. Without speciality, Mayavad and Shunyavad. Shunyavad is actually devoid of anything. That is the proper tattvic name of the current conception of Buddhism, to cease to exist. One is to become one, and one is to cease to exist. Either one is the same thing according to Mahaprabhu, one is just a covered form of the other. He came to cut these things, but that's not the only thing he came to do. Gauravani Pracharine is what he came to give. He came to preach Gauravani, the conceptions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and to give what Mahaprabhu came to give. And in the process of wanting to give that, he had to cut so many jungles, as so many of our acharyas had to do. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, on his departure bed, expressed his frustration that I had to spend all of my time cutting jungles. But really, that's not what I came to do, and that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to give the moods, the teachings of Rupa and Raghunath. And he started glorifying the moods of service to Srimati Radhika. Srila Gurudev, when he's speaking about Saraswati Prabhupada, he's speaking how his face became reddish, and then he started quoting these verses glorifying Sri Rupa and Raghunath and service to Srimati Radhika. This is what he came to give. And this is what all of our Rupanuga Acharyas actually came to give. And for us, poor, unfortunate, fallen, conditioned souls, how can we repay them? We can endeavor to make some space within our hearts to receive what they want to give us. To accept the nectar that they want to give us. Now I'm remembering Srila Gurudev in Bath, in UK. We went to the house where he was, and we asked, actually Brajanath Prabhu answered the door. It was the Sharanandan and Ananga Mohini's house. And Brajanath Prabhu answered the door and said, "Today there will be no Harikatha, no Darshan. Gurudev is absorbed in a very important, big meeting." And we said, "Okay, no problem. Can we just come in and do some kirtan, some bhajans?" He said, "Sure, why not?" So we brought our instruments in. It was just a small group of us. And we were sitting in the living room downstairs doing kirtan. And Gurudev was upstairs with all the big shots in a big meeting. And after we did Mangalacharan, Sudevi, she said, "Let's sing Gurudev Kripa Karke." So loudly that he will hear us and he will have to come down and be with us. And we said, okay. So instead of looking at his picture, which was just there, we all kind of turned toward the staircase and we were looking up at the ceiling. Gurudev Kripa Karke. After 2 minutes, we saw that Gurudev was coming down the stairs by himself. No Brajanath Prabhu, no Naveen Krishna Brahmachari. At that time, maybe he was Madhav Maharaj, I'm not sure. He was holding onto the railing with 2 hands, taking 1 step at a time, and looking at us with his eyes like this. And he was like you could see he was excited to join us. And we got so happy and we continued singing it. And then he came and he sat in the chair in front of us and we continued singing the bhajan so happily. And then Srila Gurudev looked at Ananga Mohini Didi. "Do you know the meaning of this bhajan?" And just less than a week before, she had asked me to make an English rendition of it. So I did, with song Gurudev Be Merciful to Me. Gurudev, please accept me as your own. So she had been listening to it. She took her book and slammed it shut, and she just looked at him. "Gurudev, please be merciful to me. Gurudev, please accept me as your own. I have taken shelter of you. Please give me the shade of your lotus feet." And he said, "Whoa," like this. Very good. And so he began giving so many instructions. And at the end, actually, I remember because we were in that same room with Gurudev, and he said, "I'm like a pot mender." He said, everyone in this world, their hearts are like pots, but they've been broken again and again and again. And I have come to fix your pot, free of charge, and to fill it with nectar. He said, so I open my shop and I call out, anyone who has a broken pot, you should come to me and I will fix it for free and I will fill it with nectar. And then he looked at us and he had tears in his eyes and he said, but no one is coming. If no one comes, I will have to pack up my shop and go to the next village and call out. And so after all of our meeting, he got up. Actually, Brajanath Prabhu came down at one point and he went to try to put a mic on Gurudev, and Gurudev said, nothing is happening here. Go back to your big meeting. And then after some time, Gurudev got up to leave, to go back to the meeting. And Sudevi said, Gurudev, thank you so much for coming down. And Gurudev said, I had to. You called me. So I wanted to share that katha that Gurudev gave about the broken pot in the context of this beautiful interaction, because it is so important and so valuable. Gurudev wants to give us something. He wants to fix our broken pot. All of our hearts have been broken. As Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj said time and again, in our sojourn through our material existence, again and again and again we have been disappointed. And then he would start screaming, disappointed, disappointed. Meaning our hearts are broken again and again, completely smashed. Because we keep putting the wrong thing inside. But Gurudev wants to fix it and place nectar inside. So for us to accept that, allow him to fix our hearts without giving unnecessary opposition, and then accepting his input of nectar, this is for our benefit, and also this is kindness to him. He's making this endeavor. As he would say, please be merciful to me and become happy. Chant your Hari now. So we can also be merciful to Gurudev by not making him expend more and more energy time and time again by doing the same stupid nonsense thing, breaking the pot and rejecting what he's trying to give. Now I'm speaking very strongly to myself, just in case any of you think I'm speaking to you. I'm not. I'm speaking to myself, and if you feel that it applies to you, then good. How much did he keep trying to give us? Again and again and again, making that endeavor. And we keep doing that thing. Blocking. Like yesterday I was telling him, I'm like a fish. He tries to grab me and I squish out, and he grabs me again. I squish out a different way. Not accepting the mercy he wants to give. So he has come to give the same thing that Rupa Goswami has come to give, which is the essence of what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give us. And he just told it in a very clear way. And those who don't understand it will think that he's giving something different than Rupa Goswami and the rest of our Guru Varga. That is only due to their ignorance, of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Jaiva Dharma, which very clearly tell everything that our Gurudev has told. And simply by even reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see that he is the walking, talking book. He is the walking, talking Jaiva Dharma. He's not different from these. All of the conceptions, everything he's giving, he's not giving. How many times did he say, I'm not giving anything new. I'm not giving anything different. It's here, it's there. Look, just look. And he would open the books and show us. It's even there within Prabhupada's books. And he would show us, and we'd be like, oh, I just read that 20 times and I never saw it. Upadeshamrita. Instead of studying at university, I would go to the religious books section in the library, and I was reading Prabhupada's books, and I read Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, 3 times. And then Gurudev came, and I sat in front of him, and he said, when Swamiji is using the word when here in this sentence, he doesn't mean that, he means this. Just one pure devotee to explain it, and it had a completely different meaning than what I thought it meant. How powerful is even a moment's association with a pure devotee? We cannot imagine. So, next we should sing about or call for the mercy of Vaishnavas. The class is finished. Shri Vaishnava Vandana Deviki Nandan Das, page 36, Vrindavana Vasi Jata Vaishnavir. Hare Krishna Prabhu. One of the most important instructions of Srila Gurudev, and Tunga Vidyadidi and others can confirm this. He was very, very concerned that we would all be careful to observe proper Vaishnava Sadachara. This was one of his most prominent instructions, because if we are not respecting Vaishnavas properly and properly according to their levels in bhakti, then it's very easy to make offense. And if we make aparad, then we won't be able to progress properly on the path of bhakti. There was one devotee who was a very big devotee in another place, and he had made a lot of aparad to many Vaishnavas over many years. But he was there in front of Gurudev. He had come to see Gurudev. And I ran to Gurudev's room feeling concerned for this devotee. And I said to Gurudev, Gurudev, if anyone has made so much aparad over many years, but somehow they've come into the association of Vaishnavas. Actually, I started, every jiva is an eternal servant of Krishna, right? And they can never be fully destroyed, right? And he's like, right. And then I said this, I said, then is there hope for their progress? He said, yes, they can progress. And then he pinched his fingers together really tightly. He said, but it will be very slow. In case we're wondering why sometimes our own progress might be very slow, Srila Gurudev said we should know for sure and certain that it is due to Vaishnava aparad, either in this life or in previous lifetimes. Or if we develop so many weaknesses on the path of bhakti, it is due to Vaishnava aparad. So one of his major, prominent teachings and instructions was proper etiquette in relation with Vaishnavas, how to honor Vaishnavas. He said the juniors should have respect and honor for the seniors, and the seniors should also have affection, kindness, and respect for their juniors. But these days we see that no one is observing this, and so all around so many difficulties are happening on the path of bhakti. He said that between him, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj and Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj, who were the three pillars of Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, he said we never had GBC meetings, ever. They would come together and glorify Harinam Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna. It wasn't called a GBC meetings, it was called Ishta Goshti. Now somehow the word Ishta Goshti turned into meeting, but Ishta means our Ishtadev. Gauranga, Guru, Radha and Krishna. To come together in the association of Vaishnavas and glorify our Ishta. This is Ishta Goshti. And he said by that automatically everything went on smoothly. But the moment we forget that and we start just dealing with all the mundanities of everything, only problems and more problems will come. So by that proper Vaishnava Sadachar, everything will flow smoothly, and also our own progress on the path of bhakti will flow smoothly. So this bhajan by Devaki Nandan Das, Vrindavanavasi Jata, is extremely powerful because it teaches Vaishnava humility and how we should honor Vaishnavas. Vrindavanavasi Jato Vaishnavera Gana Pratame Vandana Kori Sabara Charana Nilachalo Vasi Jato Mahaprabhur Gana Bhumite Poriya Vando Sabara Charana Navadvipavasi Jato Mahaprabhur Bhakta Sabharo Charana Vando Hoyaya Nurakta Mahaprabhur Bhakta Jato Gura Deshe Sthiti Sabharo Charana Vando Koriya Pranati Je deshe vaise Gorange Ragana Urva Bahu Kori Mando Sabara Charano Hoyache no hoibeno Prabhur Jato Daso सभार चरण बंदो दांते कोरी घासो ब्रह्मांड तारिते शक्ति धरे जने जने ए वेद पुराणे गुण गाय जे बाशुने महाप्रभुर्गणो सब पतित पावन ताई लोभे मुई पापी लइनु शरण वंदना करिते मुई कथा शक्ति धोरी काम बुद्धि दोषे मुई दम्भ मात्र कोरी तथापि मुकेरो भाग्य मनेरो उल्लास दोषक्षमी मोय धमे करोनि जदास सर्ववांछ सिद्धि होय याम बंध छूते जगते दुर्लभ होइया प्रेम धन लूटे मनेर वासना पूर्ण अचिराते होय देवकी नंदन दास लोभे वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर प्रभु कृपा करो मोरे दया करो कृपा करो मोरे दया करो प्रभु कृपा करो मोरे दया करो कृपा करो मोरे दया करो All Vaishnava Thakurs ki. Maybe I've told it before in this group, I can't remember. In 1996 when we came, we arrived at Sri Keshavaji Gaudiya Math, and I thought, okay, now we're going to have our guru who sits on the Vyasa-san and gives class at a particular time. I didn't realize that Gurudev was going to be a classroom teacher who would be testing us individually. It was quite a frightening prospect. You know, you freeze when you don't know. Someone's like, Tungavidya, what's that shlok tattenu? You know, like. So we went in front of Gurudev and he asked us, do you know this shlok, the 5th verse of Upadeshamrita? And all of us were like, deer in headlights. We couldn't remember our own names. And he was trying to tell us how to respect Vaishnavas properly according to their levels. So he began explaining this verse to us. This was our introduction to Gurudev. The first day in the evening, in the afternoon before the evening class, I could practically, if you can envision Gurudev with a pointer and a piece of chalk, you know, like this. And he was speaking to us and he said, so be ready, tomorrow I will test you on this verse. You all should learn this verse, I will test you tomorrow. It's a big verse. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta. That's the first line. And there are 4 lines. You know, maybe we can do Jai Vaishnava Sevile Achintya Krishna Pai. That's okay, but 4 big lines. And Gurudev started with this verse. So powerful and so important. How to honor Vaishnavas according to their levels of bhakti. And he was explaining that we shouldn't give the same respect to a 3rd-class bogus person that should be due to the Uttam Adhikari. And also vice versa. No, we shouldn't be disrespectful to the Uttama Adhikari. That would certainly be aparad, but also it is aparad to give that kind of respect to a pre-kanishta or even to a kanishta Vaishnava. But one must respect them according to their levels in bhakti. And so he started us with this, because what is the possibility of even following Vachovegam if we can't give proper honor and respect to Vaishnavas? How would we be able to even begin to do those things, control these urges, without the mercy of Vaishnavas? We've been in a state of uncontrol for billions and trillions of lifetimes. Is that okay? Uncontrol? Or in an uncontrolled state for billions and trillions of lifetimes, since time without beginning. And only by the mercy of Vaishnavas will we be able to come out of that. So he started us with this, how to honor Vaishnavas properly according to their levels of bhakti. And then he began with the Vacho Vegam, Manasakrodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udarapasta Vegam. Really, that first verse is the qualification for Guru. Gurudev gave so much emphasis to Sri Upadeshamrita, which starts with the qualification for that person who is able to accept disciples all over the world. And the last 3 verses are all about our goal, service to Radha and Krishna in the midday pastimes at Radha Kund. In 11 verses, it takes you from what is the qualification for Guru, what is unfavorable for bhakti, what is favorable for bhakti, how to relate with Vaishnavas properly, what are the qualities and qualifications of Vaishnavas, and how to respect them according to their levels. And then, after that, how to not see a Vaishnava from material perspectives. Radhe Radhe. Drishtai svabhava janitair vapushascha doshar. One should not look upon a Vaishnava and say, oh, he's short, or he's dark, or it's not a man, it's a woman, or he's American, or he's Russian, or Chinese, or Bengali, or from South India, or whatever. From all of these material perspectives, he's too young, he's too old, he doesn't have a big enough white beard, or he has too much white beard, or any of these things, or maybe he might have a little bit of a gruff temperament. Gangam hasam nakolam kalu bud budapena pankar. Just as Ganga is always transcendental despite the presence of foam, mud, bubbles, and all of these external apparent pollutants in her waters, she's always Brahmadravatvam. In the same way, a Vaishnava is always transcendental, despite the presence of Ashtavakra. No, Ashtavakra was crooked in 8 places. And when he arrived in the court of Janak Maharaj, everyone began laughing. And he said, oh, I thought I was coming to an assembly of very learned persons, but I understand that I have come to an assembly of shoemakers, cobblers, leather workers. And they were like, what? And Janak Maharaj immediately understood, oh. Got off his throne, put Ashtavakra Muni on the throne, sat at his feet, and they all learned from him. He was bent in 8 places, and yet he was carrying transcendental truth. He was embodying that. So then Gurudev was always bringing us forward. So from Drishtai Svabhava, then about Harinam. Do not become complacent. Just because you're not experiencing transcendental rasa at every moment right now. Just because Harinam might seem bitter now, it's bitter because we are sick. Like someone who has jaundice. Remember that time? I was up in the room there and I got sick with jaundice. But the walls were yellow, the lights were yellow, and I was yellow. And I was so sick I couldn't move. Sudevi and Vishaka didn't know that I was yellow until Vaijanti Mala came to the door and I answered the door. And she could see me with a different lighting. She said, oh my God, you are yellow. I was so sick with jaundice. And Sudevi and Vishaka were throwing out all of the sweets because I kept, this is bad, this is bitter. And they thought, oh my God, it's dangerous. So any sweets, they were throwing away. And then when we found out I had jaundice, we realized we threw away all the sweets. So Gurudev told us again and again, we should continue chanting. This is the remedy for that bitterness, that lack of taste. If we continue to chant, then gradually we will begin to awaken that taste, that ras for Harinam. And then right after that, the essence of all advice. Srila Gurudev explained that this is actually the essence of the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Rupa Goswami is that person who has established in this world the inner heart's desire of Mahaprabhu. And if Rupa Goswami is telling all of us that this is the essence of all advice, then that must be the essence of the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In other words, the most important thing for all of us. Tannama rupa charitadi sukittananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtan braje tad anuragi jananugami kalam nayar akilam ityupadesha saram. Technically, you don't need to know the whole verse. You need to know one part of the verse. Tad anuragi jan anugami. From that, the rest automatically manifests. Srila Gurudev mentioned about the Panchanga Bhakti, Sadhu Sangha, associating with sadhus, Nam Kirtan, taking shelter of Harinam, Bhagavat Shravan, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Mathurabhas, residing in Brajmandal, Sri Murtir Shraddhaya Sevan, worshipping the Thakurji form of the Lord with love, affection, and faith. Srila Gurudev said, if the first one is present, Sadhu Sangha, automatically the rest will be done. If Sadhu Sangha is missing, nothing will be done. Nothing can be done properly. And so this verse, Tannama Rupa Charitari Sukirtananu, is the same. It's telling that one should always, in deep absorption, remember, glorify, and chant the names, forms, qualities, and pastimes and associates of Krishna. Tannama Rupa Charita Adi Sukirtananu, with deep, absorbed kirtan. And then smrityo, remember, kramena, in sequence, rasana, manasi niyoja, within the mind, tasting all of the pastimes of Krishna that happen throughout the day. This is Ashtakali Lila Smaran. Really, this is what the second line means. The third line, Tishtan Braje, always residing in Braj. But we all know that one can be physically in Braj and a million miles away. So residing in Braj doesn't necessarily just mean being here physically. It means at the feet of the pure devotee whose heart is saturated with Braja Rasa. Now Srila Gurudev said, Sarup Damodar Goswami never physically came to Vrindavan, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always referred to him as Vishuddha Brajabasi. Rohini Maya, although she went to Mathura, Gurudev said she is Vishuddha Brajabasi. She's carrying Vrindavan always in her heart, no matter where she goes. And someone was telling the other day, when Gurudev, wherever he went, they would say, oh, I'm sorry you had to be on the airplane for so long, or on this boat ride, or this car ride. And he said, I'm in Vrindavan. He's there absorbed in Braj. So Tishtam Braje really means to be at the feet of that person whose heart is saturated in Brajaras, who's in Vrindavan always and being under their guidance. So Tad Anuragi Jan Anugami. That person whose heart is overflowing with love and affection for Radha and Krishna, to be under their guidance. Kalam Nayad. Without cessation, always doing these things in their guidance. This is the essence of all advice. Srila Gurudev gave so much emphasis to this shloka, again and again and again, telling this verse, wanting the devotees to tell it, to share it, to try to mull over it again and again and absorb, imbibe, and act upon its deep imports. This was essential for Gurudev to give to us for our benefit. Under the guidance of Gurudev, when Gurudev was present physically, what was everyone doing? Tannama, Rupa, Charitadi, Sukirtananu. We could not help it. We were hearing his kirtan of Krishna's names, forms, qualities, pastimes, and associates. So that kirtan was there. And then how could you not remember that? No matter where we went, no matter what we were doing, wherever we went, he was always reminding us of Krishna and Krishna's pastimes. So all of these different aspects were enacted automatically. We were in Braj, or wherever he was, he would turn it into Braj. He turned Badger, California, a remote place on the top of some hill somewhere, into New Braj. And he would say, Govardhan is here, Radhakund, Shamakund, Yamuna is here. And then he would tell us to bathe 3 times in Yamuna and begin speaking Brajakatha. He himself was Braj. And he would transport us to Braj, and he would transform the entire vicinity into Braj by his own absorption in Brajaras. So simply by being in that association, and he was full energy, so we didn't have much time to sleep, to rest, or anything, because from the beginning of the morning till the very end of the evening, it was Kalam Nayed, really. And if you are absorbed in chanting, hearing, remembering, serving, associating, and all of the activities of bhakti throughout the day, your night is also absorbed in that. If anyone has ever experienced, I'm going to use the word experimenting with chanting, trying to chant 1 lakh of Harinam a day, you will know that in your sleep, if you wake up, you're still Hare Krishna, right? You're still going. And you fall back asleep, and in your dreams, Hare Ram, you wake up, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, it's still going. So all of these activities that Srila Gurudev was engaging us in, they were favorable for bhakti. So simply by the presence of one pure devotee, you see that all of the favorable activities of bhakti are enacted not only by that pure devotee, but by those who are in the association and vicinity of that pure devotee. How powerful is the presence of the pure devotee? God, time is getting... So, usually we have at least a few days of remembrance of Srila Gurudev when his appearance and or disappearance days come. And actually, it is impossible to glorify such a personality because he has touched not only every aspect of our lives and through the medium of so many different things. I mean, here, this place is saturated with Srila Gurudev. We all remember him stopping, looking at us, "Are you okay?" Or walking out on the balcony and waving to us. But even I go outside and you see the trees outside. Srila Gurudev told, what is the beauty in a tree? It is how the wind blows through the leaves. So now you can't look at a tree and see a leaf moving without thinking of Gurudev. How he has, Hare Krishna. How he has injected himself into every aspect. There was one devotee who was always so angry, and they came to Gurudev, "Gurudev, I can't control my anger. I become angry at everything. I'm so angry." Gurudev said, every time you start to feel angry, you should drink a glass of water. So they went to drink a glass of water, but because Gurudev told them, the moment they start to feel angry, they remember Gurudev. And they go to get this glass of water. The glass of water is not the important part. They've just remembered the embodiment of the mercy, the cooling mercy of the Lord in the form of Guru, right? Samsara davana lalita loka. What extinguishes that blazing forest fire? That anger is also like fire, but who is it? It is Sri Guru that extinguishes that blazing forest fire. He is compared to that cloud. So the moment they would feel anger, they would remember Gurudev. And Gurudev said, don't take tomatoes and these other things during Chaturmasya. So Devi's like, every time I see a tomato, I think, Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. It's like every tomato represents him, because he said don't take it, but you still remember him, whether he said do or don't. Still, he has somehow injected himself into everything. And it is difficult to not see that. He is so expert in giving us the opportunity to benefit just by remembering the Vaishnava. So we hear so many beautiful prayers of the Vaishnavas speaking about just remembrance of the Vaishnavas, how purifying it is by remembering their name, by saying their name. But for us, when we hear about Gurudev, when we see him, when we remember him, it is not only a momentary thing. He gave himself so much, not only through the medium of Harikatha, not only through the medium of his affection and also his reproach, but also in the form of himself as Guru Mantra and Guru Gayatri. For us to be able to actually connect, this is his constant online phone number. I'm giving myself to you. I'm making myself available. He has given himself.
There was once a girl who came to see Gurudev and she was saying to Gurudev, I don't feel like I'm developing my relationship with you. I want to develop a relationship. And Gurudev was bewildered by her question. This is in English. And he said to her, haven't I given you Guru Gayatri? That's the connection.
Wow. Confirmed. So Vaikuntha Maladidi just said that there was one girl, she came to Gurudev and she was expressing her concern that, oh Gurudev, I don't feel like I'm developing my relationship with you. And Gurudev looked at her quite quizzically and he said, haven't I given you Guru Gayatri? Haven't I given you Guru? Gurudev has given himself in this form. Because we think that this is something different from him, we are separating them. And because we think Harinam is something different from Krishna, we are separating them. Because we think Gaur Mantra and Gaur Gayatri are something separate from Mahaprabhu, we are separating them. But actually, they are the same. Gurudev never said that that mantra is not Gurudev, or Harinam is not Krishna, or Gaur Mantra, Gaur Gayatri is not Mahaprabhu. They are the same. But we are creating a situation where we think one is not important and the other is. And so we are ourselves lessening our opportunity for connection. But I know personally many devotees who have taken shelter of their Guru Mantra and Guru Gayatri in times of great difficulty. And Gurudev would personally come in their dreams and directly answer the exact question they had. Not like a random kind of thing. Praying, crying to Gurudev, please, please, through the medium of that mantra. And Gurudev would come in the dream and say, what? Like this. And they would tell him and he would speak to them and then he would go. Gurudev himself told that he himself is also speaking to our acharyas, and not only his Gurudev, but our Purva acharyas. And we have witnessed personally, Vrindavan Vilasini, you were there when Gurudev was in Radha Damodar temple, and he went into Srila Prabhupada's room and was speaking to the Murti of Srila Prabhupada, not as if it is a Murti. Do you remember when we were doing this together, when we were sitting together on the chadar that you put down, when we were making rolling rotis together? Do you remember? Do you not see me now? Are you too absorbed? So Gurudev was speaking to him, not as if he was something else, but as a person, that he is here. Interestingly, today I read a quote from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada that was posted, and he was speaking about the Archa Vigraha, the deity form of the Lord. Now this is something that Srila Gurudev did. He did Pram Pratishta of Radha, Krishna and Mahaprabhu and gave them to so many, hundreds and hundreds of devotees. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, what is this? He said it is the manifestation of the heart of that pure Vaishnava as Archa Vigraha. So Gurudev is actually giving his heart in the form of Thakurji for us to worship, to adore, to love and serve. How beautiful and how merciful, how affectionate and kind is that. Now I've already gone over 5 minutes, so Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Radha Gopinaju ki jai, Harinama Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Yes.
I know for myself, getting back to the one of Guru Mantra, Guru Gayatri, all this, I would say it's not so much I don't believe it. I'm just going to have to call to connect sometimes. I'm too tired, I fall asleep, I might play here and there. It's not like I actually don't believe it. It's just that no sukuchi, you might say, more like that.
So, Vrindavan Vilasini Didi is sharing that it's not that I don't believe that these mantras are the same, but perhaps I don't have the qualification, or I become tired, or I fall asleep, or there's any distraction. But the faith or the belief is there that they are the same, but I'm maybe not qualified.
I was
I believe that you just have faith in me. Don't give up. Eventually, you will have realization.
So Vaikuntha Maladidi is sharing that in the history of Gopkumar, his guru is saying, even if you don't have faith in me, continue trying to follow my instructions. Or if you don't have faith in the mantra, continue chanting it and continue just trying to follow, continue chanting it, and eventually it will come. Never give up chanting your mantra and? Okay. You may not understand your mantra or the power of your mantra, but if you maintain faith in me and continue chanting, it will have its effect.
Kind of what happened to me is, like what she was saying, I have faith in Prabhupada.
Yes.
So I will do it for his pleasure, but I certainly can't connect the way I would like to connect. I think that's the way to put it. Because I know that that's it. I want to be able to connect, but I just simply can't.
So Vrindavan Vilasini Didi is sharing that she knows it is him, she wants to connect, but she's just not able to at this time. But I wanted to share here what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, because this is a source of hope and inspiration, which is directly along the lines of what we've just been speaking. It is the 24th, the last of his Upadeshavali, and he says, as mundane thoughts arise while taking Harinam, one should not become discouraged. A secondary consequence of taking Harinam is that these useless mundane thoughts will gradually dissipate. Therefore, one should not worry about this. By dedicating one's mind, body, and words to serving Sri Nam and continuing to chant with great persistence, Sri Nam Prabhu will grant one darshan of his supremely auspicious transcendental form. And by continuing to chant until one's anarthas are fully eradicated by the power of Sri Nam, realization of his form, qualities, and pastimes will automatically arise. So he's speaking for those who, like us, might be so weak and have mundane thoughts while trying to chant. Taking that Nam itself will bring us from that position to the position of actually realizing the transcendental name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. One other thing regarding what you were saying and what you were saying, there was one devotee girl who was being haunted regularly, and having a very difficult time. She couldn't sleep at night, and she came to Gurudev. She was very concerned. And the family also came, like what to do. We're putting Srimad Bhagavatam out every night with the picture of Lord Nrsingadev. We're playing cassettes and Hare Krishna Mahamantra and this and that. And Gurudev said, your faith in these things is not very strong. And so reciprocally, they're not acting as strong. He said, but you know me and you have faith in me. He said, so when these things attack, you should call my name very, very loudly. He said, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. He said, they will leave and they won't return. This is important. Where our deepest connection is, that is where our strength is. And for most of us, our deepest connection is our Gurudev. Our own Gurudev. I don't know Krishna. I don't know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Param Gurudev told this. I don't know the Purva Acharyas, but I have strong conviction in my Gurudev that he carries Krishna. And I will be obedient to him. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said this, I will be obedient to him. But Param Gurudev said, I don't know them, but I know my Gurudev. And I accept his words as the unerring truth. So with that kind of conviction, that kind of dedication, that is his connection. We have our connection via our Gurudev. So taking very strong shelter of the lotus feet of our Gurudev, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Mando Mui Sabdhanama. Very carefully hold on tightly to the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev. And as Gurudev would say, don't let go, never let go. Yes?
Well, I remember one story that in Russia they wanted to reprogram one devoted lady to go, and they got her even a wage officially by the government. And first they were not able to do it, then they called the wage, and then they say, no, what's happening? And she said, cannot be done because there's Srila Prabhupada, because she was telling his name all the time. He is in that corner.
That was that lady they had in the 80s that was talking about.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I heard the story and it's quite impressive actually.
Well, the way I heard the story is that she was chanting all the different mantras, and she would get this and that, and nothing was working. Finally, she started chanting Prabhupada and that.
So we're just hearing a katha of one devotee lady who was, she was trying to call different names, even Lord Nrsingadev and others, but her faith wasn't so strong. But then she began to call the name of her Gurudev, chanting Prabhupada's pranam mantra. It might be two different stories. Okay. They had tried to deprogram her. Deprogram means take away whatever connection she has to bhakti and make her into a mainstream materialist again. And she was calling the names of Narasimhadev and others, but then finally she started calling the pranam mantra of Prabhupada. There was even, they brought some witch in to try, and the witch said, I can't because that one, the one whose name she keeps calling, is sitting there in the corner and stopping me from doing anything. So our Guru Varga are very powerful. I have witnessed, one last thing, Srila Gurudev. Everyone is afraid of Shani Dev, right? Everyone. They all throw the money in the mustard oil bucket, Shani Dev, like this. One devotee was wearing a ring, a gold ring with coral on his finger. He was a brahmachari, and Gurudev said, what is that? And he said, oh, one astrologer gave it to me to help ward off the effects of Shani Dev, to help me with my mind. And Gurudev said, give it to me. And Gurudev was just about to receive his massage. So he gave him the ring, and Gurudev said, now Shani won't touch you. And he leaned back and he kicked into the air and he said, I will kick him and he can go live with that astrologer. And I thought, my God, my Gurudev is so powerful. And then I realized, actually, this is nothing of his power. No? Radha pada bina kabhu Krishna nahi mile, Radhar dasira Krishna sarve vede bole. That Krishna himself becomes the property of the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. And Gurudev said that she has more power because she's Purna Shakti. More power in her little toenail than 10,000 Narasimhadevs. Gurudev has said this. Because she's Purna Shakti. So then I was thinking, this is such a small thing for my Gurudev to kick out any of these difficulties. He did not want us placing our faith in anything other than what is favorable for pure bhakti. So this devotee was placing faith in Shani Dev by putting the ring to ward him off. And Gurudev's like, that means you're taking your faith away from Tulsi Devi. You're taking your faith away from Guru and Vaishnavas and Harinam and the path of bhakti. So Gurudev wanted us to be exclusive on our path to perfection without diverting to all of these extraneous things which our Goswamis and our Acharyas did not instruct us to do. Okay, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now it is time for Aarti. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Shri Radha. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai. Vrinda Devi Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Param Gurudev ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Radhe Radhe. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.